My group chose this idea because we felt it could differentiate a lot from the other groups who chose horror and thriller genres, and we thought our genre would stand out a lot more. Our story follows an awkward teen boy who rarely has social interactions and is just quite awkward in general. And one day while he's playing the game, he comes across a girl who's interested in him, and they start talking and socializing, and eventually they decide to go on a date. And when they go on this date, the boy comes across a lot of obstacles and challenges before he gets onto the date on his way. A few of these obstacles are he gets attacked by a swan, which we think would be quite funny near the riverside, and also he gets dragged through mud on a bike. And these really unfortunate events that would never actually happen in the real world, we think that could be really funny and play a good role in our romantic comedy. But towards the end of the film, we find out that they actually start to like each other. It's very awkward at the start of the date, but towards the end, they begin to warm up and they start socializing more, and the conversations start flowing a lot better. As I said, our genre is romantic comedy. We took inspiration from the film Norbit, and I actually watched it over again to maybe take some ideas, and so I could input that into my film. Norbit follows a similar storyline to ours, that being an awkward guy with a very loud and confident girl, and I feel like these binary opposites can be a very good addition to our film. I think for our narrative structure, I think we should just use a linear structure because it will be a lot easier to follow, because the film is so complex and a lot is happening at once. I feel like if we use a linear structure, it will be a lot more efficient than maybe going from A to B C to A to B like a non-linear structure would. And then a circular narrative would just be impossible to follow, in my opinion. So I think a linear structure is a easy way for the audience to stay engaged. Our survey results showed us that actually people would prefer it if we did a horror or thriller, but I feel like to really differentiate from them and stand out, I feel like we should do a romantic comedy. And people said that they would enjoy dark humor and they wouldn't be offended if we did some dark humor jokes, although I do think we should still take precautions when doing these jokes, because some people may get offended, so I think we should still watch out for that. Colour plays a really important role in our production, because I feel like at the start it should be very vibrant and highly exposured. However, towards the end it starts to get a lot more rich and contrast. For example, the sky becomes a darkish blue, and the lights surrounding the day are like a warm, rich orange colour. We've conducted multiple location creases, and these helped us choose our locations for the production. One of them being the outside patio of Leander, which would be a great location to film at, because there will be no one there because we've been given permission to film there, and also there's an outside patio bar at Leander which has some really nice lighting around there which gives a really romantical vibe. So yeah, we thought that would be good. We'll also be filming in the boys' room at the start of the film when he's waking up and doing his morning routine, and we thought to decorate the boy's room in a bland greyish way to really emphasise his personality. We felt that it can influence his OCD and his traits, so that could be good. And then the props play a really big role in our production, because the girl will be wearing a very flamboyant, colourful, loud dress, which contrasts massively against the guy who'll be wearing a grey suit with a burgundy tie, and this is very sophisticated and bland. And this emphasises his mundane approach at life. However, I felt that as the film progresses, his suit rips and it gets muddy when he gets dragged through the mud, and it rips and it becomes I think it can signify that he comes out of his shell a bit more, and he becomes a lot less bland, and he becomes more loud with him under the influence of this girl that he's gone on a date with. And then the music in our production could portray a mischievous feel, so we should use like cheeky risers and maybe the triangle instrument to really emphasize the awkward moments. And I think that would help influence what is actually going on in the film. And then lastly, I think we should use artificial lighting, because while we're filming at night out in Leander, I feel like it could get quite dark, and then the camera might not pick up certain parts that we want. So if we use artificial lighting, key lights, it can really help us get better shots.